So I'm Roland. I'm owner of Box 360 Gym here on the South Coast. We're the biggest pro boxing gym on the South Coast and one of the biggest in KZN. We've got brother gyms like Knuckle Game, Relentless. There's a couple of other gyms. I started boxing when I was 6 years old. My father was my coach. He trained some great boxers when I was younger. I did a lot of amateur boxing when I was younger, and I also fought amateur SA boxing. We also went to Egypt as amateur boxers, and we fought for South Africa. That was my upbringing, so I was always involved in boxing. It's always been a passion of mine. My father always pushed me to do the best I can in the sport. Obviously 17 years ago he passed away, and that passion was always in me. So I also run a recovery center, a drug addiction recovery center on the South Coast. And I had two guys that came to me once and I was living, and they said, Roland, why don't you start teaching us boxing? We know that you got the skill, and we think that it'll be a brilliant opportunity to teach us to actually defend ourselves. And that spark was ignited again inside of me, and I started in my garage at my house. There was two guys, two punching bags. I taught them boxing, and just from there, it just grew. There was such a need for that discipline and structure for the youth on the South Coast, or well, everywhere in South Africa. They need that. I think it's lacking in schools at the moment, and I'm teaching them to be men again, you know. And don't get me wrong, there's some ladies that are fierce too. So I started off there, I had two boxes, and it just grew. And from the garage, I had 15, 20 boxes in my garage, and then I decided, well, this is getting big now, I've got to move on. And I approached sponsorship on the South Coast. I've got great support from my fellow community, and they sponsored me, and I got to a place of where I opened this establishment, and that's been about 3 years ago already, and it has only been growing to growing. I'm over 100 memberships at the gym, and we're a community, not just a community, we're a family in the boxing gym. So when somebody misses a class, it's not like another gym where you just forget about them. I message them and I say, listen, where you at? You need to get into the gym, you know. So yeah, my passion is that. And I've seen youth guys that's addicted to drugs, struggling with addiction. I've seen them change their life in this ring, come off the drugs and start focusing on better things. I've got 5 pro boxers at this stage. I think you interviewed him at my last tournament, Naira. I've got another 4 of them. They're now new to the pro boxing scene, so some of them had their fights. I haven't had a loss yet. They've been being amazing. And then I've got the amateur boxers, which I've got at least 20 boxers that are fighting in KZN. And then I've got then obviously the members that want to be fitness, they want to do fitness, they want to be healthy, they want to join a community. And then they start off from 5 years old. My youngest, I think, is 5 years old. I've got another trainer, Jordan, that trains the juniors. He's a pro boxer, and he's teaching these guys, and they start from 5, and you can go up until you know 75 years old if you need to. It's an amazing sport, and everybody's welcome. It really is. The impact that it has in my life is that my day starts at 4 o'clock in the morning. I come to this gym, I train my clients at this gym. I go to a brilliant and blessed work that I go to at South Coast Recovery Center, where I help people with addiction. I come back to this gym at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and I train my boxers until 7 o'clock in the evening. So for what this gym does for me, my passion is people, and especially people of the South Coast. And to be in this gym and help them in their life brings me structure, brings me motivation, brings me discipline in my life, which I need, and it just makes me a better person. For me, giving back to somebody that can change their life, not just in the ring, but with health and their fitness and losing weight, it brings me much joy, and I'm doing my passion at this stage. This is my passion. I'm not a 9-to-5 guy in an office. I'm doing what I love, and that's people. No problem at all. So firstly, my successes is having these amazing sponsors that you see on the back of this wall here. And then my successes is I've got 5 pro boxers. That's the first the South Coast has ever seen. There's never been a pro boxing gym on the South Coast, or pro boxers that lived here on the South Coast. So these are the first 5 pro boxers that we have produced on the South Coast, and that's an amazing achievement for the South Coast especially. It's an amazing community. And my other achievement is going from a garage to a gym that's 600 square meters and being able to keep doing this. Thank you to the community, and that's one of my achievements that I'm really grateful for. And then there's another person that really has guided me with this, and without him it wouldn't be possible. Robin Patterson, he's a businessman on the South Coast, and he has really helped me to create this for myself and for the people on the South Coast, because he's really passionate for them too. So yeah, the achievements is only beginning, and I've had already 10 tournaments. You've seen the last one that I was at. And there's more than 10 tournaments a year in KZN, and we partake in all of them, and we've hosted 10 of those. So my achievements is just growing and growing. It's blossoming by the day. So that's our 10th tournament, if I'm not mistaken. It's the largest one that we've had so far. We had around about 400 to 500 people coming to watch that tournament. That is larger than what a pro boxing tournament would be in KZN or in Johannesburg. We are bringing boxing back to South Africa. In South Africa, there was the likes of, as you see on the wall there, you've got baby Jake McClellan, Brian Mitchell, these amazing boxers, where there was an era that everybody was one of the most watched sports in South Africa. And it's sort of diminished. And this, what we're doing in KZN, and I see they're doing it in Johannesburg too, is bringing boxing back to the community, bringing the excitement back to the community and people coming to watch. So the last tournament was at Douglas Mitchell. We had 500 people, VIP table sold out. We had 17 fights that night, and everybody loved it. I'm sure you guys enjoyed it too. Yeah. Okay, so my first main focus is the youth and the community for growing. So this gym is bringing that to the South Coast. And then secondly is getting some SA champs out of this gym. And I think we're really capable of that. There's some amazing amateurs coming up the order, and we've got some amazing pros. You're going to see them on TV soon, and they're going to be world champions, I can tell you that. So I want to see a world champion, first a SA champion, and then a world champion coming out of this gym. But the most important thing for me is for the community to grow and find the passion in boxing, and that they actually start feeling what a family connection is and a movement is. That's what I call it. It's a Box 360 movement. And I just wanted to see it grow, and I want us to see that we can expand and just give back to the South Coast community. My heart and passion is for this coast. Awesome.